Hi, I'm Gavin,
And I'm Dave.
and you're on the fringe.
Come along with us for a ride on a podcast where we talk about an area or a thing going on in the world that needs more attention, just like you do. Let's go.
On the fringe. Here we go. Yes, I'll start. Hey, 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 welcome to On the Fringe. I'm Gavin here with my good friend Dave.
Hey,
Dave,
hey.
we're talking about a declaration today. We're talking about the
Ooh.
Declaration of Independence, Dave?
Uh, I don't think so. We're not talking about when in the course of human events. We're talking about the Declaration of Principles. And it's not your school
Ooh.
principle, is it, Gavin?
No, it's not my school principal. That would be a different declaration, and it would probably be not as fun. Declaration of Principles. Declaration of Principles. What countries are we talking about today, Dave?
So primarily the DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rwanda
Hmm.
met with United States representatives in the US this week to basically start moving toward a peace agreement between the countries. The countries have been at war, very, very bad war over the last few months, and conflict has gone on in this part of the world for the last, say, 30 plus years. And the US is trying to do something that's going to be creating a lasting peace. Gavin, do you think this is likely or not likely based on these principles in this declaration?
Based on the principles in this declaration, we'll be lucky if they're not fighting by the end of next week. Um, this paper is not this document is not really worth the paper it was printed on. So it was the result of a push from the Bureau of African Affairs at the State Department. It was published on their website, or U.S. Department of State website on April 25th, 2025. And it was a document signed on by Marco Rubio, the serving Secretary of State at the moment. And this is a vague document. What do I mean by vague, Dave?
Well, it doesn't really have any sort of teeth. And
Yep.
basically, it outlines that yes, there are some rules. Yes, we're going to acknowledge these rules, but it doesn't really talk about who wrote the rules and who's actually going to enforce the rules in this document. And the
No.
document also outlines some things that the DRC specifically has not wanted involved in their peace agreement with Rwanda, specifically with
Mm.
paramilitary groups. And I don't know how something like that is going to actually bear fruit in the DRC, especially with the current government over there.
And the current problems with the government. Yeah, I
Yes.
would be very surprised. I think the big, well, there are a lot of problems, as you mentioned. Uh, they kind of, okay, so they mutually acknowledge each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity and commit to a pathway to resolve their disputes by peaceful means grounded in diplomacy and negotiation rather than hostile force or rhetoric. That's a really nice way of saying stop grabbing each other's frickin' land and can't you talk these things out? And the problem is they can't talk them out. There are a lot of references to peacekeeping bodies like the EAC SADC force. There's a reference to the UN mission or MONUSCO um, that have been completely ineffective in reining in Rwanda and Rwandan backed paramilitary groups. There's also the problem in the document that when they mention what do they call them? Non-state armed groups, they do not mention the largest non-state armed group, which is currently M23. M23 is mentioned in this document, but only at the very end when they're talking about the peace agreement endorsed under the EAC SADC framework, which has fallen apart. It fell apart at the beginning of the year. So they're sort of referencing these things as if there was not currently a conflict on the ground. It's a kind of an odd document in that way.
Yeah. It's basically the US is saying, we're coming to the table, we're helping these guys work out their problems. But are we actually doing anything to solve the problem? No.
No, and again, it's difficult to see how you really can. I think both parties, the DRC and the Rwandans, have both signed on to this because they're both playing for time. Uh,
Hmm.
the DRC is desperately trying to get its house in order to mount some kind of a counteroffensive, and Rwanda's basically just seeing how far it can take this thing. Um, when Paul Kagame makes the decision that they've taken enough, then we'll see actual progress. Until then, we're going to get more commitment to pathways
Hmm.
and not a
And
whole lot else.
yep, and the US is hoping that as these pathways open up, that US access to rare earth minerals in the region is not closed off.
And that's the key to everything from our perspective. We're looking to access these minerals, and we're looking to make sure that whatever happens between these two governments, neither of them have a reason to close off the pipeline to us.
Hmm.
And maybe on that level, you can see this document as a success. I think on any other level, it's just simply not.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm sure Elon Musk would probably look at this, or Doge would look at this and go, okay, um, why are we spending the time to craft something like this?
You know what? They might be, because you do have to look at this and go, there was a conference, they flew people over. Uh, okay, I can tell you what's going to happen on the ground. Nothing. Just nothing's going to happen on the ground. Nothing's going to change. What was the point? And again, the
Hmm.
point was signaling.
Yeah,
DRC signaling, Rwanda signaling, we're signaling, but other than that, nothing's actually happening. So yeah, I can only imagine what some of those people must think right now. Uh,
yeah.
yeah, on that note, we're on the fringe. Thank you very much for listening. Please like, comment, subscribe. Paste little flyers on lampposts, with the little tearaway URLs so you can get people to subscribe to this show. This wonderful show that you're listening to.
It
Uh,
is.
it
We enjoy
is.
making it for you guys.
Oh, we do. We enjoy it as much as a party in Winona, Minnesota.
Woo.
It's that
New Year's
enjoyable.
party.
Oh, it's best place to be next to Eau Claire, I've been told.
Yeah,
Um,
somewhere
so,
up in the upper
so
Midwest.
somewhere in the upper Midwest, we may even have a listener to the show. Who knows? Um, Thank you all very much. We appreciate the On the Fringe community, and thank you so much for listening. This is On the Fringe.